Hello, my name is Bob Barrow, and we're here at the Wichita Falls Art Association with another artist conversation. First, I would like to thank the City of Wichita Falls for their support in helping us with some grant money to get us through this last year. And I'd also like to pay tribute to Sherry Lane, who is behind the camera every time, and this was her idea. Now, today we're having a conversation with Danny Juarez. Daniel, he's local here in Wichita Falls. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and your background.
Well, originally I grew up in El Paso, and so I was there, and after I graduated from high school and whatnot, I moved to the DFW area. Lived there for about 25 years, and then me and my wife relocated to Wichita Falls about 5-6 years ago. And we've been here since. And gotta say, we love it. We really, really love it. We just fell in love with it from the start, and we can't imagine going back. Don't get me wrong, we miss our friends and family in DFW, but we love it here.
Well, now I know you do work kind of at home. When you're not actually really working, what kind of art medium do you have?
Well, I do visual art, two-dimensional, which means painting, acrylic, watercolor, a little of everything, charcoal, some silkscreen. I like to incorporate silkscreen with a lot of my paintings, so like I'll do like maybe an acrylic and then put silkscreen text on it, or type, or sometimes some texture, but not always. So a little of any of the two-dimensional type of materials.
Now, this question a lot of people always ask artists. What led you to become an artist?
An artist, well, I've always been into drawing and sketching, kind of doodling, like when I was young, as far back as I can remember, a teenager. But one of the things that really got me into it was cartoons, in particular Charlie Brown, the Peanuts. You remember the Peanuts?
Yes.
And years ago, and you may remember this, they used to print them in paperback. And I had like probably hundreds of paperback collections, and I was such a huge fan of, and I don't know why, because Charlie Brown wasn't particularly laugh out loud funny. It's just that he was just a nice guy, and I always related to not Charlie Brown, but Linus. He was just a dependable guy. I don't know if you remember all the characters, but he was just a dependable guy. And what I liked about cartooning in general is just that you can get so much personality out of the minimal amount of lines, like just a stroke of an eyebrow, a hint of a mouth, just a line, whether like if they're angry or mad or sad, just very minimalist technique, and you get so much character out of it. And for me, I think that was a pretty neat thing to do.
Okay, so that's kind of like minimalist stuff.
Right, exactly.
Where do you get your inspiration in the type of art that you do?
My inspiration, and that's for me. I know for a lot of people it's like really simple, but for me that's so broad in a way, because it comes from all over, right? I mean, you could get it from like just walking down the street, or you can get it from watching a documentary. But for me, I really get it from the community at large. And I know that almost sounds like a cop out, like can you be more specific? Well, I really get it from the fellow artists in the art community, especially the local community, because here, what I found when I first moved here, this is why I love it so much, there is such a robust community here in Wichita Falls. And don't get me wrong, I really liked living in DFW, but the art community here is so rich and so it's so close community that you just get a real sense of family here in the art community. And so my inspiration is really just watching other artists kind of do their thing, and to kind of learn from them. I mean, you learn from other people and what inspires them, and that inspires me. And it's sort of a ripple effect, if you will.
Well, now that's really neat. Even for mentalists, well, there's a lot of energy in artists, which is one reason we're doing this, to get involved with the community and to get the community involved with us. Now, if you see Daniel out on the street, you see him at an art walk, you see him anywhere around, go up and ask him. This, I had asked him, I thought it was a photograph from away, but it's not. It's an acrylic painting. So you need to come and look at his work. He does large things, he does small things. So like I say, when you see him, ask him some questions, because he's a pretty smart guy and got things to say, lots of experience. We want to invite you to come down to the Art Association, and we thank you very much for listening, and come on out and everybody do art.